Have you ever wondered when it's time to stop trying to save a relationship? When does love stop being a reason to hold on, and instead, become the very thing that holds us back? We're taught to believe that love conquers all, that if we try hard enough, we can save any relationship. But at what point does holding on cause more harm than good? When is it time to stop fighting for someone who no longer fights for you? As Tennessee Williams wisely stated, there is a time for departure even when there's no certain place to go. Sometimes, the hardest decisions come not from certainty, but from the courage to embrace the unknown. The question of when to give up on someone is not a simple one. It touches on the deepest parts of ourselves, the desire to be loved, the fear of loneliness, and the hope that things might change. We stay in relationships, not just because we love, but because we fear what might happen if we don't. Yet, there comes a point where staying becomes more painful than letting go. As Friedrich Nietzsche put it, it is not the lack of love, but the lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. So many of us find ourselves torn between two forces, the hope that things can be fixed and the reality of what's happening before our eyes. We cling to memories of better times, hoping that those moments will return. But each time we extend ourselves, trying to mend what feels broken, we are met with more disappointment. The emotional toll of this can be profound. We lose sleep, we lose our peace, and sometimes, we lose ourselves in the process. The author Stephen Chbosky validly said, "We accept the love we think we deserve."
This speaks to the heart of the issue. Often, our willingness to stay in unhealthy relationships comes from a place of self-doubt or an inability to see our own value. We believe we don't deserve better, so we stay where we're not appreciated. But at what cost? How much are we willing to give of ourselves before we are left empty? How long can we hope for change when the actions of the other person show us that their commitment isn't the same? These are the questions that haunt us during the long nights, the ones that make us question not just the relationship but our own worth. There are moments in a relationship when it becomes clear that things aren't as they should be. Maybe it's the absence of mutual effort. You're the one always reaching out, planning, fixing, while the other person seems indifferent. Maybe it's the feeling of disappointment that creeps in every time you try to connect, only to find they've let you down again. Or maybe it's something deeper, the realization that the relationship has become toxic, that instead of lifting each other up, you're being torn down. As someone wisely stated, relationships are like glass. Sometimes it's better to leave them broken than hurt yourself trying to put it back together. We often forget that not all things are meant to be fixed. Sometimes, the act of trying to repair something that's shattered only causes more harm to ourselves. When you find yourself always giving and rarely receiving, when you're left feeling more drained than fulfilled, it's time to ask a difficult question: is this relationship worth saving, or am I simply afraid of being alone? The fear of loneliness can keep us trapped in unhealthy relationships far longer than we should stay. But remember, loneliness is not found in being alone, it's found in being with the wrong person. Sometimes, clarity comes in the form of a single moment, a conversation, a realization, or even just a quiet, internal decision. It's the moment when you understand that holding on isn't strength, but fear. You realize that the relationship, which once brought you happiness, is now holding you back from becoming the person you're meant to be. It's in this moment that you make the decision to let go, not out of anger or resentment, but out of love for yourself. The famous author Paulo Coelho wrote, "You will never be able to escape from your heart. So it's better to listen to what it has to say." The decision to let go often comes from an inner voice that's been ignored for too long. Once we listen, we realize that our heart has known the truth all along. It's in that moment of letting go that you reclaim your power. You choose your own peace over the chaos of a relationship that no longer serves you. It's not about giving up on love, it's about choosing the kind of love that respects you, values you, and helps you grow. At the end of the day, deciding when to give up on someone is not about weakness, failure, or giving up on love itself. It's about self-preservation, growth, and realizing that not all relationships are meant to last forever. Sometimes, the love we hold for someone is real, but the circumstances or the person's actions no longer align with the path we are meant to take. We may be tempted to stay out of loyalty or the hope that things will change, but this often keeps us trapped in cycles of pain and disappointment. The truth is, walking away can be one of the most courageous acts of self-love you can make. It's a decision that says, I am worth more than the pain of staying in a place where I am not valued. The truth is, walking away can be one of the most courageous acts of self-love you can make. It's a decision that says, I am worth more than the pain of staying in a place where I am not valued. This isn't about resentment or anger. It's about reclaiming your sense of worth and refusing to settle for a relationship that no longer brings you peace. Remember, it's better to walk away from someone who doesn't see your value than to stay and lose sight of your own. As Oscar Wilde wisely remarked, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. This idea reinforces the message that self-love is a vital part of any relationship, and sometimes, stepping away is necessary to preserve that love for yourself. We often forget that relationships are meant to help us grow and enrich our lives, not hold us back. When the relationship becomes more about struggle than joy, more about fear than hope, it's time to reevaluate. True love isn't about constantly trying to fix things that are broken beyond repair. It's about two people working together to build something that lifts both of them up. When that balance is lost, it's okay to choose yourself. As you move forward, understand that letting go doesn't mean erasing the love or memories. It means acknowledging that you've grown, and sometimes, that growth requires leaving behind what no longer serves you. You're not just giving up on the relationship, you're making space for something better, for yourself and for the future relationships that will honor your worth. Because in the end, choosing yourself is the ultimate act of love. What about you? Have you ever had to make the difficult decision to give up on someone? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story could help someone else going through the same thing. And for more advice on life and relationships, be sure to check out our next video. There's always hope for healing, whether it's with someone else or within yourself. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time.